Okay. All right. So hi, everybody. Welcome. So as you can see, every single Monday, I have been highlighting someone that I know that's on their self-love journey. And Andrea here, I am just so excited to reconnect with her. We connected years ago. You said it was in 2015.
Yep.
In 2015 on this app called Periscope when live was very new. And we were both very new to it. But long story short, we connected in 2015 and we're reconnecting right now. And so I am always so excited to hear a different story. And this is like a catch-up session. I know we were being very vague yesterday because we wanted to save all the juicy stuff to today. So I just want to thank you so much for being here. For anyone who, doesn't know who this lovely woman is, from my experience seeing you, I know that you've been on your spiritual journey and you've been through some hardships. And I know we all have that. And
Right.
talking to you yesterday, I can feel the peace. I can feel the calm. And so what I'm going to be asking her is events that led you up to the self-love journey. And I know that some of you guys that are watching, you might identify the self-love journey more like the spiritual journey, the healing journey, personal growth journey. What else do you call it? Yeah. And so everyone has a different story with that. So just to start this off, hi. Hello, welcome. And thank you so much for saving some of your time. I just love your vibes right now. I just feel like we're so in sync, even from the first moment that we met.
Yes.
But just, I guess, like a quick icebreaker, like how would you say, like, who you are today? Like, how would you, if you could pick a few words, like what jumps out at you to best describe who you are?
Courageous.
Oh, courageous.
Strength and resilience.
Oh, I love that. Which, that relates to your story. Yeah.
For those that would like to know a little bit about me and how I've arrived at this particular juncture, this particular point in my life, it's been quite a journey. We all go through things in life, but I think that when we come to where we're at, we realize that everything that we've experienced has been a culmination of events and things that we agreed upon before we even entered this current life we're experiencing. So I've had not only a self-love journey, because for me, self-love is about loving myself. Mm-hmm. And so it's one thing to say that you've made changes and that you've become a different person, but how in fact did that come about? And so exactly. I've had a spiritual growth journey. I've had a personal growth journey, and then the self-love, which I think is they all fit together, mm-hmm. and like a puzzle. And it's really about embracing every aspect of yourself.
Yeah, and that's a journey, right? So when you say embracing, I'm hearing self-acceptance, I'm hearing mm-hmm. self-compassion in that.
Yes.
Self-kindness in that. So with that said, let's get into it. Like,
okay.
Leading up to this growth journey of yours, this healing journey of yours, mm-hmm. what needed to happen in order for you to know that you needed to be on a different path because where you were wasn't working? Like for myself, it was a breakup, right. It was a breakup, being in 2 long-term relationships and feeling just soulless. I knew I needed to listen to that voice that was like jumping out at me each time I was down, right. Like, Quinn, come on. So I'm curious what needed to happen in order for you to say yes to the healing journey, or what are some events that really stand out to you that led you there?
There were several different things. Yeah. Some they're a bit dark, and I'm in a in a very light place in my life right now.
Yeah.
So I don't have the same emotional attachment that I had to those events, though they were extremely traumatic.
Yeah.
But for me, uh, the the simplicity of it is that I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same vicious cycle of bad relationships, feeling unworthy, feeling like I didn't matter, feeling that what I thought, what I said was unimportant. And
Mm.
so it was the constant questions that I asked myself: why is this happening to me? And I'm sure that we've heard different versions of the quote that's been said by many thought-provoking leaders, past and present, that the description of madness or insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different
Right.
result.
Exactly.
And so for me, I was doing the same thing and thinking that I'm a good person, or I've changed this, or I care about people, but why does this keep happening to me? And so I wasn't changing myself. I was just talking about how everything was going wrong. And
Mm.
when we constantly repeat the same things, we give where we put our energy, wherever our energy goes is where it grows. And so I didn't at that particular time understand the concept of putting my energy to the things that I wanted. Instead, it was, I don't want to experience abusive relationships. I don't want to experience um, rejection. I don't want to experience, whatever that may have been at that time. And so that's what I said all the time, and depending on who you're speaking with, I have a respect for anyone and whatever belief they are, because we all ultimately believe in the same thing, just we practice it in different ways.
Mm.
And so it's really a matter of looking within oneself, acknowledging that these things are present, and then really taking the time to um, do some self-reflection,
Mm-hmm.
to
Definitely
really
needed.
evaluate yourself and say, okay, what am I doing that I could change in order to become that person that I visualize myself to be?
Mm.
um, and it's really about choices. We all make choices in everything that we do. If we choose to do something, that has a negative consequence or a negative effect, it's a choice. And if we choose to do the exact opposite of that, it's still a choice. So
Mm.
it's really about embracing every aspect of yourself, even the stuff that we deny about ourselves, because we're
Okay.
all capable of so many atrocities. It's just part of the human condition.
Mm.
So if you embrace parts of yourself that you have been trying to kind of put in a box and shove down and not address, then you can expect that throughout your life, even when you're doing good, things come up because it's something you haven't addressed. You've just put it in a box and said, I don't want to deal with this right now. But it's going to surface, because true change comes when you make that change. It doesn't come from reading a book and listening to everybody's advice. You have to make that change within.
Mm.
So it's just really self-reflection,
Yeah.
and that whole embracing. It is, like you said, it's self-acceptance. It's knowing that I don't need another another person to validate my existence. I don't need someone else to say you matter. I don't need someone else to say you're important, because I have to know that within myself. It's the only way that we can grow. It's the only way that we can serve others. And the reason that those of us that have experienced traumatic events, and trauma, it comes in many shapes and sizes, and it
Yeah.
affects people differently. Some people will experience, abuse of all sorts,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
And
you know,
that's, yeah,
and so
emotionally,
exactly,
physically, and oof, mentally,
exactly. And it
right?
affects us all differently. And we have to really um, understand and know it's part of the process, it's part of growth. Now,
Yeah.
some of us do choose to continue to remain in that vicious cycle because we either don't have the support or
Right.
we're looking for others to continue that validation process to say, okay, you're good enough. But until you can say, I'm good enough and I don't need you to tell me, it's only then that change really comes. And I'm not perfect by any means. I still continue to make mistakes. Do I make the same mistakes I used to? No.
Mm-hmm.
And I try, I'm not even going to say I try. I just work at being better than I was yesterday.
Yes.
And I think the reason that today in this moment, I feel at peace and things are going exactly as I want them because I practice being present, being here in the right now. Because thinking about yesterday has absolutely no relevance. You can't change it. You can't do anything about it. You can't go back to the future. You can't go, you just can't do it. So if you're present and you practice presence,
Practice presence.
then it just makes things so much easier, you know. And it's just a different things, you know, that I've done, you know. It's I got caught up with obviously getting in relationships that were toxic, you know, and
right. Who has been there? Everybody.
Yes.
Hello, raise your hand.
Correct.
Or I know we can't see it right now, but leave an emoji if
Right.
you've been in that cycle of toxic relationship after toxic relationship. And
Right.
someone like myself, I felt like I did that in 2 relationships, but it was for 10 years total.
Right.
10,
That's
11 years
a
total.
long time of your life.
Yes.
Because you're a young buck there, Miss Lady.
Old soul. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. No. And I'm just thinking about for myself, like even like growing up with how my parents disciplined me, you know, there was already like abuse. I know, like for those who got a whipping at a young age. I mean, how can we classify that? I mean, that's physical discipline, abuse, but that does do something to your emotional, mental, and spiritual health. Like that damages you. And so if you think about it, your whole life, perhaps up until the moment that you decided and you practiced being present, reflecting a lot more, then you started to change some things around, adjust some things around. So I love how you're going very, very deep into the mindset, the self-conversation that you're having with yourself, and you're really highlighting being present. And that could look differently to anyone. Like for myself, it would be journaling so that I can be present with myself and watch myself extract my thoughts onto a piece of paper. Right. I remember when we first talked, you would go on these walks in nature.
Oh, yes.
So can you share with us some of the ways that you get present with yourself? Like, where do you go, or do you journal? Do you meditate? Is it walks outside? Like, how do you get present with yourself so you can have that self-talk and have that self-realization, that self-acceptance, and that embracing? What does that look like to you? How do you get present?
So for me, it's become something that comes with ease, you know. For me, words are extremely powerful. So I catch myself when I say, I don't do, or I don't, or I can't, or I won't. When I catch myself, even in mid-thought, it's like an instant thought. What is the opposite of what I'm about to say? Because that's the message I want to send to God, to the universe, to source, to whatever it is that we believe in, right?
Yes, love it.
And you want to express yourself in a way that is working towards your highest good. So if you say you're having a crappy day, that may be evident, that may be true.
You're making
but the
that
truth,
true for your
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But in that same breath that you're saying, you know, I'm having a crappy day, you can also say, in this day that I'm experiencing right now, there's a lesson to be learned. And I may not see it right at this very moment, but it's going to come to me, or it's going to present itself instantaneously. Why? Because I've become aware. So to answer your question regarding what I do, so I was furloughed at the end of March and then terminated in May from my job. I did leave a corporate job just because I was tired of working for someone else and making them money. They were a great company. I'm not going to take away from that. I wanted to pursue my dream of impacting humanity on a global scale. And so I made the decision to leave a corporate job and use my 401k, which, by the way, is not a plan, people, unless you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I did not have anywhere near 50 grand, okay, just to give you a frame of reference. And I said, okay, I have 1 year, and in that 1 year, I plan to write a book, become a public speaker, a transformational speaker, and become a life coach. I accomplished one, and I wrote my first book, which is, I kind of just left things kind of open, you know, so I give you bits and pieces, but people want to know more. And that's how I opened myself up. I didn't write the book to make millions. I wrote the book to get what I was holding inside out, to release the emotional baggage, to release the pain, to release all the trauma that came with my story that I was inside of every day up until 2016. I was in my story every single day from the age of, as far back as I can remember, 4 years old. I was stuck in my story. My biological mother abandoned myself and my siblings. There was 4 of us. And we were left literally fighting for our lives, starving to death in a rat infested, broken down shack, trying to survive. And rats were like, if anyone has ever seen roaches, like lots, imagine that in rats. And we were literally being eaten alive. So at a young age, you know, it's a different thought process, because, you know, we don't have the same awarenesses yet. Before a certain age, we do have the awareness that we become aware of again later on in life. And, you know, that comes with conditioning and what we experience in life. But, you know, I experienced homelessness for 8 months of my life, from the age of 15, you know, and it's just so many things that happened. And it was difficult for me to talk about my story without breaking down, because I had so much vested in that trauma that I couldn't get out of it. And I was stuck in it, and I couldn't do anything to get out of it, because there was rejection. I felt unloved. I felt like I was garbage, like I didn't matter. And so, yes, things that you experience as a child do affect you. The things that you're conditioned by, whether it's your upbringing, your religious beliefs, you know, anything, your schooling, all that does affect. It affects your mind. It affects how you deal with things. But it's in realizing within yourself that you can move past that, then you make those conscious decisions to say, okay, I want to live the life that I can visualize when I close my eyes. What does that look like to me? I go into the feeling of what being a transformational speaker feels like. It's not about notoriety. It's about how many people can I impact. And if I just impact one, that's one more than I did yesterday.
That's a great one start, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that one, correct. Like, okay, who am I supposed to impact today?
Right.
Who am I supposed to be in service today?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's really about getting out of your own head and moving past that. And so went through all these experiences and through different ages, relationships, things that are toxic, and you see them. So then the physical abuse stops, but then you have other kinds of abuse. And it's not so much the abuse that others inflict upon you, it's the abuse you inflict upon yourself.
Right, there's you, and then there's yourself.
Right.
That you do every day.
Right.
Every moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So um, I decided that I wasn't going to continue to live in the poor Andrea, woe is me, how come this always happens? It's because of this experience, it's because of that experience, and you know, I'm never going to get out of this thing. I had to change the way that I spoke. I had to change the conversations I had with people. I had to change the people that I had conversations with. I
Yeah.
had to remove the things, people, places that were not serving my highest good. So my routine on a daily basis is I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I go walk 3 miles. My fiance and I, he walks with me every morning, and then when we come back, so it takes about an hour, and we come back and then we meditate for about 20 minutes, and we
Wow.
do this together. And then I'm doing a couple of other things just to, one, uh, make our relationship stronger. It's important that when you do get into a relationship after you've chosen not to be in one or getting out of toxic ones, what things can you do to change your situation? So for me, it took me 6 years before I got into a committed relationship that I said, this is who I am willing to spend my life with. And that's been work, but we've grown. You learn to have more compassion,
That's key.
because along the way, when you're traumatized, when you go through things in life, you have a tendency to project your own pain and your own trauma on your partner. You know, you project your pain and your trauma on your family,
Mm-hmm.
on your friends. And so how do you change that? And for me, waking up every morning, I cannot not walk every single day, because it doesn't matter, rain, cold, hot, not whatever, dark, light, I got to get my walk on. Because in order for me to be able to serve, I can't be, you know, this person that can hardly breathe. I can't be this person that can't think straight. I can't be this person that, you know, doesn't have a belief in anything because I think the world is against me. You have to make those changes. And I made the mistake in the past of trying to do everything all at once. I was like, I can do this all, you know, you set
Yes.
you limit yourself. But I started off small. And when I started off small, it was, okay, I can walk for 20 minutes. And it
Mm.
wasn't that I couldn't walk longer, but I was like, I got to start. And then the next day I would get up. And after a few weeks, it's just your alarm clock in your head goes off. You get up, do your, you know, get yourself ready, walk out the door, and you walk. And when you're out in nature, it's the most beautiful thing. You hear the crickets chirping. So I'm up and it's still dark out, but I hear the crickets chirping. I see these deer. It's a mother and the two
Mm.
babies. And so I, you know, greet them every morning, and I haven't seen them in a few days, but that's okay. I know they're still somewhere. So I still greet them when I pass by, and I have substantial conversations with my partner. We talk about things. And at the beginning of our relationship, we were bumping heads, you
Mm.
know, we weren't seeing eye to eye. But um, when we're busy pointing fingers at someone else, there's always three pointing right back at us. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to take responsibility for the things that I wasn't happy with, and say, what can I do to change me? Because I can't change him, can't change her, you know, but what can I do to change me? How can I inspire my partner to want to do what I want to do in a positive way, without saying, if you don't do this, we're not going to be together, you know? So it's not,
Wow.
for me, it's not about compromise. For me, it's about communication, having an understanding, having compassion. And when you project yourself onto other people, you just get a really negative result. So it was like, okay, I'm just going to do this every day. If he joins me, he joins me. And lo and behold, here we are, and we're meditating together. How incredible is that, to have your partner meditate with you, pray with you, express gratitude and appreciation for each other and for everything that you have. You do that by going in and saying, I need to change me. And then I will see the change in the world. And so it's just been, what is this, 6 months now, I guess, since March, that I've been on this journey. So I don't look at myself in any negative light, the fact that I'm unemployed, because I'm blessed to be able to receive unemployment. And so I'm able to take care of what I need to take care of. And I have a supportive partner in my life, something that I didn't have before. But is it that it was their fault? No, it's the common denominator is always yourself, So all you can do is just point all the fingers at yourself and say, hey, I want to see a change. It's important for me to see that change, because having a good relationship with yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, knowing that no is a full sentence and you don't owe an explanation for your no. It's just, hey, can I borrow? Hey, no. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't, because this is not a good, no, that's none of your business. If you ask me for money, time, whatever it is, if I can't give it to you, or I don't want to, I'm not in a position to, no is no, and that's it, so, but I'm saying yes to me. And I think what also helped me to get to where I'm at is that when you put people before yourself, you can't really say, I love my daughter, my son, my husband, my wife, my family members, when you don't even love yourself, when you loathe yourself, when you look in the mirror and you're disgusted with what you see. How can you say you love someone? You can't, because you have no, you have no love for yourself.
So yeah.
So if you put yourself first, being selfish is good, because when you're full, then your cup overflows and you feed the world, the masses, from your overflow, not from an empty cup that you turn over and like, I can't see it. What's up with this? Wait, what? And so you can tell I'm very sensitive to people's energies. And so you can be way over there. I mean, even what we expose ourselves to, the TV, the kind of TV we watch, the kind of videos we watch, the kind of socializing on media that we do, it all affects us all differently. Now, I have learned that to judge someone else is to judge myself. Anything that I do against another, I'm doing it to myself.
Again,
right. And so if I want to see around me the things that make me feel good, then that's where I'm going to put my energy to. And that's what I'm going to attract, because that's where my energy goes to. As soon as I redirect it to something that is not serving me, well, then I really can't question and say, why did this happen? And that all comes with awareness. But just starting, if all you can do is 3 minutes or a minute of prayer, a simple, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm awake and I'm breathing and living right now. It's as simple as that. That's how it starts. It's just, it's simple. It's not complicated. You don't have to sit, in a lotus position for 30 minutes, an hour, to show that you're connected to God, to source, to the universe. You don't need to do that. You can breathe in and out 5 times and just acknowledge that you have working lungs and that you can breathe. And expressing gratitude, oh my God, it goes a long way. Do I journal? Yes, I do. Do I walk in nature? Yes, I do. Am I eating healthy? Yes, I do, because I know that the alternative is to be unhealthy, not having the desire to do anything for anybody or for myself. So I have to be right everywhere. I feed my mind things that are serving me. I read books that engage my mind and want to expand and grow, not to be a know-it-all, but to know a little bit about a whole lot of things so that I can inspire people with my own experiences, because I applied the things that I've read. It's not just, oh, I read a good book, let me recommend it. But then
Right.
somebody may have questions for you and you're like, well, I can't remember that because, I didn't really apply it, but it was a good book.
Yeah, you should read it. Let me know.
Right. So I've done a lot of reading
Yeah.
in the last 6 months.
Mm.
I think I've read about 10 books now.
Mm. Wow.
And it just feels so good. I just
I feel it.
I'm in a good place. I'm in the same place I was when my children were born.
Wow.
And as a mother, anyone, or even a father, if you had children and when you first got a hold of them, it's that warm, it's just, it feels, smells, tastes, looks, just all the senses. It just feels incredibly amazing. And that's where I'm at now. That's called presence for me.
Woo.
It's, in the moments that we're in, just being here. And not to beat yourself up when you do have a lot of stuff going on in your head. It's you acknowledge the thoughts, anything that you can acknowledge, and then figure, where is this coming from? Is it something I need to address? You give that time and you address it, and you try to figure out where it's coming from and what things you need to work on. And then you start a little bit at a time.
Yep.
And, if you set the intention to attract people that are going to support you in your plight, whatever that may be, then you'll attract those people. And that applies to both negative and positive, because as we know, there are people out in this world, in positions of power, whether it's companies, whether it's, all over the world, wherever, they, everybody's hating, but they're not seeing the obvious things. They're using the law of attraction in their, to serve them.
Yes.
So, how can we combat without fighting against something? How can we bring about change instead of fighting against all the chaos that's going on? Why don't we practice unity? Why don't we practice loving each other, respecting each other, having compassion for each other? But everybody's busy posting and commenting and saying this and saying that. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not interested. And so all you can do is send love and express gratitude for the fact that you are witnessing even the most horrid of things. Express gratitude for your witnessing of it, because in that you will either decide to go in the direction along with all the other individuals that are choosing to go. I don't know I can't even say it's the wrong way, because everything is on purpose, but they're going they're taking the long route to peace and ease and joy and happiness. But I'm choosing to take the direct path to that blissful peace, joy, and everything comes easy. It's, some people will probably say it's cliche, or, it doesn't work, but miracles are happening every minute of every day that we're awake, and even when we're asleep. And it's only when you become aware that you see those miracles. Now, part of the miracles that I've been experiencing, because I've been on this journey of self-love to the max. I decided to invest in myself. I decided not to focus on what I thought wasn't there, and just things are showing up all over the place. I'm working with an amazing coach to propel me forward to be able to accomplish and realize my dreams of being a transformational speaker and a life coach to really impact people.
Yeah.
And at some point or other, write another book, that is going to be impactful. And that is my intention, to help people, women in particular, because I am a woman, in this present experience that I'm going through now, but to help to empower women to stand in their power, to reclaim the power that they gave away through, with whatever they went through, and just stand and realize that they possess courage, that they possess strength, and that they're very resilient. Because if you're still here after all the crap that you've experienced,
right,
and that is evidence in itself, even if you're an atheist and don't believe in anything, the evidence is there. And so if you take that and you have it work to your benefit, possibilities are endless. And there's so many amazing things that are about to unfold. And you and I spoke off camera about them. I won't talk about it now.
Yeah, you ain't gonna talk about it right now.
Right.
To be continued.
Right. But I feel blessed. I feel free to be me, and I'm no longer standing in the shadows, afraid. And even right now, being on this Facebook Live, I'm not. A couple of years ago, I posted a few
keep on
videos
talking,
me singing, doing the thing, trying to step out of my own little shell.
Yeah.
But I think that when we don't give our testimony, so to speak, I think that we're denying other humans something that they may need at a particular time. And so I decided that I wasn't going to be selfish, but I'm not going to speak from a place of hurt and pain, but as a person who came out of that, and I'm now standing on top versus in it. And there's a huge difference.
Oh yeah. You're not complaining. You are sharing what it took for you to get to where you are today.
Right.
Yeah, you're more the sharing and empowering and inspiring. Boom, boom, boom.
And yes.
Yes.
And so it's just incredible how things come back full circle. You and I met, we went to a networking event that you invited me to. We connected. You were a blessing at that time when I'm traveling all the way from North Carolina to California.
Oh my goodness, we made it happen.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was a miracle.
But it was wonderful. The experience in itself was meant exactly how it happened, and I had been to, I'm trying to think if I had gone to a Lisa Nichols event before or after we went to the event. I can't remember.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You did speak of that.
Yeah.
I do want to get into some comments because you've been getting some love, right? Okay. Let's read these comments. Thank you everyone for staying on and hopping on. Howard says hi. I think he's from my friends list. Rosemary, she's someone that I've highlighted before. She says hello. I think this might be on your side, Maribel Eagle.
Yes.
She says hi, Andrea. Yeah. Hi, Andrea. And then Una says hi. Someone else. Brandon. Someone on my side says hey. Fernandez Young. Oh yeah, that's my friend. Rosemary says I can relate. When you had enough, you truly had enough. And the need for change is more evident. Yes. And I wanted to highlight that because would you say it's in those moments of pain when you've had enough, you are so tired of being sick and tired of all of that, the voice is even louder.
Right.
Like, this is it. Like, it's almost screaming at you, like, time to exit out
Right.
now. Okay. Or else we're just going to go under. Okay. No. Paul, who I interviewed like 2 weeks ago, she said meditation. Jennifer Hall, someone that I recently been connecting with, she said,
Mm-hmm.
you have completely verbalized what I wrote in my journal today about my desired morning schedule. Now I just need to start small. Thank you. Yes. And thank you for highlighting starting small. I preach that all the time.
Yeah.
Small, tiny freaking wins, because consistent small doses of those small wins is way better than big wins that you experience only here and there.
Right.
You know what I mean? We are already so hard on ourselves. So when we say yes to creating a small win for ourselves, it creates more hope. It creates, wow, I can actually do this. Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow. So I'm so happy that you mentioned that. Paul says gratitude. Paul also says stay blessed. Paul says love that common denominator. You guys, there's so many different levels, and you did this so beautifully on this talk. There's so many different levels of awareness of the next thing to work on, where you realize, I'm in this stage now where I am willing to accept responsibility for everything in my life. That is really hard to do. That is really hard to do, because now you're facing with your own shame, your own guilt, and having to look at yourself. And so that's where the self-kindness comes in, and and that's where you need to be really present with yourself, like you said, because, okay, you're saying yes to like letting this come up and practicing being kind to yourself. And then, Rosemary, hashtag truth. Jennifer Hall says, wow, I was just asked by someone to borrow money and I sent them a 6-sentence explanation after my no. Why I couldn't wasn't their business. Dang, your sharing is spot on for me. Brandon is someone that I've known for maybe a couple months. He meditates every day. So shout out to you, Brandon. He says, how can you say you love your family when you don't love yourself? Right back to my mantra. He has a beautiful mantra that he goes with that. And then Rosemary says, speaking the truth, Andrea. And then other people are watching. Mary Bell, your friend, says, I love her. Andrea, I've been through so much and I wish you all the best. Love you, girlie.
Yes. So just to thank you so much, Maribel. She and her beautiful family. When I was really young, they took me in and just embraced me as family. And so I said I wasn't going to get emotional, but there it goes. It's coming. I want to say, even for those that will be watching later, there are so many people in my life that I may not speak to them frequently. And it may be just, whenever, because I'm really not a social media person. I'm not. And I'm working on that simply because I want to reach more people with my message, and to really share the importance of standing in your power and accepting that you are a powerful human being that is capable of so much. But Maribel, Maria, Lisette, they're all sisters. They took me in, and it's, when I think back, it's like, wow, it was just a very unique situation. And I am absolutely grateful for their entire family, because I was going through some challenges at a very young age and had my son when I was 17. So, it was a lot of growing that I was doing. But when I thought I had nobody, I'm reminded, even from my past, when I choose to reflect on the past and bring the things that are positive in my life. But there were people always in my corner, even when I thought there wasn't. And so I am so, so grateful for the Maribel and Lisette and Maria. They were just 3 individuals. Again, it was a very unique situation, but they took me in as family, and I've stayed connected. Again, we don't talk frequently, but it's moments like this that mean the most and matter the most, because that's when I know the impact is being made. They made an impact on my life by being selfless and by showing love when they could have easily said, yeah, no, so, and many others, many of my friends on Facebook, because I'm very selective about who I choose to call a friend.
Yeah.
Not everybody is your
relate.
friend, and not everybody's out for your highest good either. So you have to learn how to discern the difference between certain individuals. And I think it's important to show gratitude and appreciation for those that have been in your corner, even when you've forgotten, because you've been dealing with your stuff in your head. And so, again, shout out to Maribel and all her family.
Yes, I shouted her out in the comments. I said, bless you, Maribel, and your family, to take her in. And yeah, and she says, we love you.
Yes, I love you too.
So thank you for sharing. It's so much love, and you shared so beautifully. Like, I feel like I have like some surface tears there, because I feel your story in a place where it was so dark, especially at a young age. Thank you for sharing about how you grew up without a mom, basically, and how you were left with your siblings, trying to figure it out in a toxic environment, living situation, and then living on your own without a home. Thank you for sharing that. And with the toxic relationships, I know that someone is listening right now and they can relate to something. I know it because they're watching. And about the transformation, about your practice of being present, and how you went about that with walking, with meditating, with journaling. So for everyone who's been following me, I've been highlighting self-love as a practice, and like what you said, like, how can we say that we love ourselves if we're not doing something to prove it that we love ourselves? That is the real proof and evidence right there. And you will see how that transforms your thought process. Thank you for highlighting law of attraction. I remember when I first met you, we were so excited to connect on that. Thank you for highlighting the, literally like catching the thoughts and reframing it, because you are attracting that type of vibe right now. Oh my gosh. And you shared about how instead of, this is so huge with the relationships of like, instead of, how of course we want people to be healthy. Of course we want the people that we're close to get on that. And I love it that you showed it by action. You guys, we've been told what to do our whole entire lives. Why are we going to project that onto people? And when we watch that, how efficient is it? Is it working? We have to be real. Is it working?
Right.
Okay. It is not. I've tried this for many years.
Right.
How about I inspire by my actions, and that literally that mindset of like, you know what, I'm going to do this for me. If he joins me, cool. If not, cool. I would love it if he joined me, but if he doesn't, that's where he's at right now. But I can't forget about myself. And you saw the transformation in a relationship, and the fact that he's with you, walking with you, meditating with you. And I feel that too, because I have a partner today where we are very much about self-love. In fact, I'll just share real quick. One of his deal breakers is if I don't practice self-love, if I completely fall off the scale, because he didn't sign up for that, for me to project my pains onto him, and vice versa.
Right.
We're here for the good times. We're here to be present, love each other. And if we have a lot of pain that we're not choosing to be responsible to heal, we will see projection, and that shows up sooner or later in the relationship. So, oh my gosh. Oh, I know. I was trying to talk fast. Like, you just described life right there. You just went a highlight reel of life right there. So oh yes, Maribel. So where can I get your book? I wanted to highlight your book. So what is it called? I want to put that in the description as well. What is your book called, and where can people get it?
They can go on Amazon. They can get a digital copy or a paper book copy.
Awesome.
It's called Whatever It Takes, You Have Greatness in You.
Okay, enough said, right? That title right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Oh my goodness. How else can people get a hold of you? I know that you're on social media, but which platform or which way would be the best way to connect directly with you? Even if it's an email or something or anything. Yeah.
Either Facebook or Instagram. I do have both. Again, it's part of my growing that I'm doing. Because anytime that I do get on social media, if it's not something that's going to promote peace, bliss, ease of living, and presence, then you won't catch me doing any other things unless I'm posting pictures of my dog or my
Right.
family. Then I try to keep it, where
And
I'm giving things that are actually going to inspire or to just kind of,
yes.
say, I need to think about that.
And
So
yeah, oh my God, there's so many things I want to say. Like just how you're speaking and from the consistent self-love practices that you've been doing, it's really showing it very loudly right now because you're very protective of your heart. Once we experience consistent peace or consistent happiness or consistent love, we have that now to measure anywhere we go. When something is off, you know that there's a gap there.
Yep.
You know that that's not where you need to be. That's not going to enhance your growth. That's not a safe space for you to be. Anyway, oh my gosh. Anyways, we're going to end this talk. We want to thank everyone for jumping on. You need to watch the replay if you're just seeing this right now because you're going to relate to something. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for taking out almost an hour of your time. I'm so grateful to be reconnected with you, and I can't wait to see you promote your story and your value and your peace and your teachings on the social. And for anyone who could use some self-love support, reach out to her, reach out to me. I have a self-love community tag right up there if you're looking for like a safe community. And other than that, any last words you want to give to the social digital world before we end this?
I just want to take the time to express gratitude for each and every one of my friends. They all know who they are. I do reach out to them from time to time and just remind them that, I know that they're there, and I express gratitude for whatever role they played in my life. And so to anyone who has impacted my life in any way, I am grateful from the bottom of my soul, the top of my soul, where just all around. I am grateful for you, because had it not been for those that were there for me when I thought I had no one, I may not have been here or be here today. But because everything is purposeful, I am here. And I hope that my story, the message, and where I'm at and how I'm being consistent touches someone. And I'm available to be reached. I'm working on some things in the background, and I hope to, or the intention rather, is to have this come full circle in 2021, because as we all know, 2020 has been the year of all years, at least in my lifetime. So I am grateful for your friendship, for your sisterhood, for inviting me on this platform. And I set the intention to, at one point or another, work together to continue to impact people in different ways. So I am grateful for you and for everyone that was watching and listening and commenting. Thank you so much for the love. And just 60 seconds, people. Gratitude. I am grateful for,
small
and that's it.
wins. Oh.
And
A
that's
little
how it
spark of me.
started for me. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just because it starts with a minute, and then it's like, wait a minute, I got more things to be grateful for. Or
Yep.
then it's like you start writing and you're like,
The
wait,
space opens up.
yes. And so you allow yourself to release and let go and move forward. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Can't thank you
Thank
enough.
you.
Like, I feel like my cheeks hurt so much from smiling because I'm just like, yes. Oh, that looks so funny. But yeah, I'm just like, oh. Everything that you're saying. Okay. Oh my gosh. So much love. And anytime when you want to come back, like to catch up and like share what's going on now, or like we can even highlight a certain moment in your life, another dark moment, and then like emphasize a certain lesson in that. Like, I'm totally open. It could be like once a month or every quarter or something like that. So just know that channel is open, because that'd be kind of cool as people watch, like, oh yeah, there's that girl that shared about this, and oh, what's she up to now? You know? Yeah.
Right. I like that. That's good. See, the intention has been set. Stage is set, and we're ready to what? Go into character.
Oh.
Actor.
I love it.
That was corny.
I know.
But that's okay. I'm okay with my corniness.
Exactly. And oh my God, that's another thing. You open up space to be silly. Like, this is how you really embrace yourself. There's room to be silly. There's room to be humorous and joking and laughing. Anyway, we can go on forever. It's exactly an hour. Exactly an hour now.
Fantastic.
But oh my God, it's like happy hour, self-love hour. Ooh, self-love hour on Mondays.
I like that.
Okay,
girl.
Okay. Thank you everyone for hopping on. Thank you again. And we will see you when we see you. Connect with this woman right here and grab her book on Amazon. What does it do? Whatever it takes. What did it say? It again.
Whatever it takes. You have greatness in you.
You have greatness in you. Whatever it takes, you have greatness in you. All right. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening. And much love, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.